بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. 2 weeks ago I had spoken about the principle that when a person commits a wrong, then he should follow it up with a good deed. وَاتْبِعِ السَّيِّئَةَ الْحَسَنَةَ تَمْحُوهَا. It wipes it away. And I had spoken about one of the best acts a person can do after committing a wrong is to give out the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. إِنَّ الصَّدَقَةَ لَتُطْفِئُ غَضَبَ الرَّبِّ وَتَدْفَعُ مِيتَةَ السُّوءِ. And then last week, that was 2 weeks ago, and then last week I had spoken about how when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives you something, you should use it before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes it away, and how this leads to a good death, that a person, he makes use of what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given him when he has given it to him. So I figured that there was a story in the Quran in the 29th verse, in the second surah, Surah Al-Qalam, that just tied in both of these topics so well, where كَانَ فِي مَنْ كَانَ قَبْلَكُمْ, in one of the previous nations there was a farmer, there was a man, a farmer who was also a father. And it was his habit, his practice, that he would harvest his crops, he would till the land, he would get everything ready, he would prepare. And when it was time to reap and get the benefits from his hard work, his labor, his farming, and harvest the crops, he would first allow the poor people to come and take from his goods, and then the rest he would take to market and to his family. So his habit was, the first people to enjoy from these crops is the poor. The first people to enjoy from the crops is those who are in need. And this was his continuous practice. As the father was doing this, the land was good, the crops was good, the harvest was good, the profit was good, the family was good. He was giving on the name of Allah. Subsequently, life goes on, the father passes away. The young lads, the sons, the boys, they inherit the farm of the father. They inherit the land. And as they're auditing the books and looking at the records, they say, and we're losing so much money by letting these poor people come and eat. These guys are taking crops for free. These people are eating for free. We're losing so much money. This could be business. This is how man thinks. The younger generation thinks, man, dad doesn't know. Those guys, they don't know. They've been on the losing end of business for so many years. Let me show you, I'll do it better. I know what's going on. I can do it better. So the young sons, the lads said, we're losing so much money. Let me tell you what's going to happen. From now on, nobody eats for free. If they want these crops, they're going to have to pay. We're going to make profit. We're going to make business. فَانْطَلَقُوا وَهُمْ يَتَخَافَتُونَ. So they advance, they leave, while they're secretly discussing, discoursing, conversating amongst themselves. أَلَّا يَدْخُلَنَّهَا الْيَوْمَ عَلَيْكُمْ مِسْكِينٌ. Today, no poor person is coming to this farm. No poor beggar is coming to ask at this garden. فَانْطَلَقُوا وَهُمْ يَتَخَافَتُونَ أَلَّا يَدْخُلَنَّهَا الْيَوْمَ عَلَيْكُمْ مِسْكِينٌ وَغَدَوْا عَلَى حَرْدٍ قَادِرِينَ. So they're advancing and they're secretly whispering, discussing amongst themselves, this is not going to happen. They get to the garden, and unbeknownst to them, in the midst of the night, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent a divine storm that had reduced all the crops, all the harvest, all the grains to smithereens. They get there, and they say, oh, we have come to the wrong garden. Inna ladallun. This is not our garden. We've come to someone else's garden. This is someone else's property. And then they look around, and they take in their they see, oh no, this is actually the same street and the surrounding areas. بَلْ نَحْنُ مَحْرُومُونَ. Rather, we have been divinely deprived. It was Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who deprived us. Then they start blaming each other. بَلْ قَالَ أَوْسَطْهُمْ أَلَمْ أَقُلْ لَكُمْ. Did I not, the middle one tells his brothers, hey, did I not tell you, you guys shouldn't have done this. You guys shouldn't have done this. Dad had a good practice. He was giving. Because he was giving, so much benefit was coming. You guys stop this, and now look at the result of what happened. He said, now look at what you guys are withholding. Look at this destruction that's happening. The companions came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They said, Ya Rasulullah, ayyu sadaqatin a'adhu ajra. Which gift or which giving, which charity is the most rewardable? The Prophet ﷺ, he said, أَنْتَ صَدَّقَ وَأَنْتَ صَحِيحٌ شَحِيحٌ تخشى الفقر وتأمر البقاء ولا تمهل حتى إذا بلغت الحلقوم قلت لفلان كذا وكذا وكذا. The Prophet ﷺ said the best charity is a person gives when he's in good health, good spirits, good affluence, and he fears that this money will go and hard times are coming, but right now he's in prosperity, and he fears, yes, adversity is coming, but despite that he still gives. You see, the way we work is, in times of prosperity, we are negligent of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, never mind. The minute any difficulty and adversity comes, and I was like, oh Allah, if you give me this, I will donate. Oh, if you give me this, I will be in the masjid. Oh, if you give me this, I'll start praying salah. When you are in prosperity, that's the time to remember Allah. Then when you're in difficulty, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala remembers you. Remember Allah in times of ease, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala remembers you in difficulty. أنت صدق وأنت صحيح شحيح تخشى الفقر وتأمل البقاء ولا تمهل حتى إذا بلغت الحلقوم. Don't delay to such an extent that then your soul has already reached and is being pulled out, and then you start saying, oh, li fulan and kada wa kada, okay, now give to the masjid and give to that people and this organization. Now it's already been decided. The Sharia has already decided where your money is going. Now it's too late. Your will has already been written. Now it doesn't count. Now it doesn't count. Even when you make tawbah, tawbah is accepted, and now at a certain point it becomes too late. حتى يغرغر, until the soul is being pulled out. Now it's too late. Now you wanted to give, now it's too late. The key, the crux is you store in the bank of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala early. Store in the bank of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala early. You remember Allah at times like that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala remembers you in difficulty. That's number one. Number two is, don't try to play the system and cheat Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You see, what happens is the father was giving, and even though on the books it looked like he was coming to a loss, in reality it was a gain, because the money that he was giving was protecting him from so many other different deficiencies. So a person makes $100 on the day. He gives $10 in the name of Allah. He comes back with 90. Another guy made 100. He came back with the whole 100. It seems person B made more than person A, but because he gave that 10, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protects him from calamities. Now he doesn't have to pay for medical bills, no insurance, no panel beaters, no this. His car is working. His house is working. Person B didn't give. Now, Allah protect. Son gets injured, has to pay the hospital bill. Car is broken down, has to pay the mechanic, has to pay this, has to pay that. Panel beaters, this guy, that guy. Till his whole money's gone. Store in the bank of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward you. Wa akhir da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. اللهم اهدنا فيمن هديت وعافنا فيمن عافيت وتولنا فيمن توليت وبارك لنا فيما اعطيت وقنا واصرف عنا شر ما قضيت فانك تقضي ولا يقضى عليك انه لا يعز من عاديت ولا يذل من واليت تبارك ربنا وتعاليت نستغفرك ربنا ونتوب اليك. اللهم اهدنا واهد بنا واهد الناس جميعا واجعلنا سببا لمن اهتدى. اللهم قنا عذابك يوم تبعث عبادك. اللهم اجرنا من النار. اللهم اجرنا من النار. اللهم اجرنا من النار. اللهم اجعل قبرنا روضة من رياض الجنة ولا تجعل قبرنا حفرة من حفر النار. اللهم تقبل منا انك انت السميع العليم وتب علينا انك انت التواب الرحيم.